What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Party Chat Sports. Welcome back to the channel. We're back. It's more mock draft season. I believe this is going to be a mock draft Monday, and we're going through the Pittsburgh Steelers and what I want, for their needs. I'm in control today for their mock draft. We're going to run through using for the first time actually the ESPN Analytics Draft Simulator. Kind of looking for alternatives because PFF has made their draft simulator cost money past the seventh round, so not doing that. So we're here, less than a couple weeks away till that night one starts on Thursday. Really excited. Every draft season's always exciting. You got your favorite prospects. Always looking forward to what's going to happen at the top of the draft. What's the craziness that's going to happen during the draft, because it's bound to happen every year there. So loading in ESPN Analytics mock draft. Excited to see how this draft board shakes out for us. We are going to try to do a 7-round mock draft. And basically, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite guys in each round, and we'll see how the board falls for us today to see what kind of needs we can fit for our Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, right at the top of the draft, we're looking at linemen, whether it's a center, whether it's a tackle. And then kind of rounds 2, 3, day 2, really it's going to be perimeter guys. I'm looking at corners and I'm looking at wide receivers. And then kind of, from there, day 3 guys are always, little depth pieces here and there, probably a D lineman somewhere, maybe a linebacker as well. Another wide receiver, another cornerback. We'll see. We'll see where things take us there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to hit record here on my other screen. As you can see, it's the ESPN Analytics 2024 Draft Simulator. 7 rounds. We'll do normal speed. I'll click load draft here, and we'll see how fast this spins. But we'll see how this takes care of the top of the draft. It's always curious. Bears, Commanders, Patriots. We'll see what kind of quarterbacks come off the board right off the back. Williams, May, Marv goes to the Patriots. Neighbors, Alt, Adunze, let's see, it's flashing there really quick, but just like that, we're on the board. And let's just go ahead for a second and look at the top. Marv to 3, so Patriots don't go quarterback here. Cardinals jump on the next best. Chargers go O-line. Giants get a weapon. Jaden Daniels at 7 to the Titans. Don't think that's going to happen with Will Levis there, but certainly a spot that maybe someone jumps up if Titans don't have a chance to get Joe Alt there. Another guy jumps into play. Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, Bowers goes to the Jets. I know Gil would be happy about that one. Vikings get the tackle, Ola Fashanu. And then a tackle run there. Fashanu, Fuaga, Fautinau, and Latham. So a lot of tackles there. J.J. McCarthy to the Colts at 15. This is actually the second time I've seen this draft do this. Maybe that's a popular spot where teams jump up and get J.J. McCarthy, but Colts are definitely not going first-round quarterback. A couple of corners there, and then Graham Barton at 19 to the Rams. So this brings up kind of my list. So of my first round, availability, guys I'm looking for in the first round. Amarius Mims, big road grader right tackle, Georgia guy, Steelers love him. If he's there, he's an option. JPJ, Oregon, the center, Powers Johnson. He's a guy that I was looking at there to plug that center hole. Graham Barton just went number 19, so he's off our board, but he was another guy, fluid, can play tackle, can play guard, most likely going to be a center at the next level, but an option there. And then Brian Thomas Jr., kind of if you didn't go that lineman route, get a weapon that would be useful for this offense moving forward. And I think in this range of around 20, with a lot of those wide receivers going early, Brian Thomas Jr. makes sense, maybe even an A.D. Mitchell as well. But nonetheless, with those things considered, the pick is in, and we are going to select Amarius Mims, tackle out of Georgia. I think, another guy here on the board, still Quinyon Mitchell, something to consider there as one of those needs that I had mentioned. But I want to get that right tackle solidified. I want to move Broderick Jones back over to left tackle. Your tackle spots are solidified there, and Amarius Mims is the draft pick. Pretty happy with that in the first round. Cam would like to make you think that Ladd McConkey is a target for the Steelers. over Amarius Mims in this draft, but I don't agree. I don't agree. So we're gonna let this spin. And we keep moving. A couple more corners off the board. D-ends. Bo Nix to the Packers in the first round. The Packers take another first-round quarterback. There goes Ladd McConkey, number 35. A.D. Mitchell. Xavier Legette, there's another one. So a lot of wide receivers off the board here early in the second round. So let's take a look at what happened once we got off the board there. So a couple of D lineman corners that went. Bo Nix. There's Brian Thomas Jr. to the Buccaneers. Xavier Worthy, the speed demon as well. Tyler Guyton, another offensive tackle. Kool-Aid McKinstry there as well. So Jackson Powers Johnson goes first pick of the second round. And this is another spot where I could see we get here to the second round. There's still those two centers on the board. Steelers trying to jump up and go get a guy there. So Jackson Powers Johnson goes. Ladd McConkey goes. And then a couple of my targets. So I just talked about my first round targets. My second round targets are guys like Xavier Legette, wide receiver out of South Carolina. Kamari Lassiter, a guy who I can think can be a lockdown corner for a team there, kind of like how Joey Porter Jr. was that lockdown guy in the second round there. A couple more wide receivers off the board. A.D. Mitchell there, Roman Wilson, Keon Coleman. Javon Ballard, safety, jumps up there into 50. But the guy that is still on our board here that really lets us round out our first two picks here of the draft, I'm going to have to find him because he's not immediately up here on my board, but that is Zach Frazier. ESPN has him as a 72 ranked, but he's got Steeler written all over him. Zach Frazier, center out of West Virginia. Country roads take him home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are drafting Zach Frazier, and I think if the board breaks this way, Amarius Mims in the first round, you come back with Zach Frazier in the second round. That's beautiful. That is a beautiful break on the board. I think Arthur Smith would be so happy. I think Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren would be very happy. And our trenches are solidified on the offensive side of the ball for years. You can see we continue on. There's a lot more guys coming off the board. Mike Sanders still, a couple of wide receivers there that we had our eyes on. So we'll let this thing settle to the Steelers' next draft pick at number 84. So we'll get this window off the screen, but let's see what happened after we came off the board. So you see there a couple D tackles, a couple more O linemen there. Michael Penix goes to the Texans in the second round. I guess they're looking for a backup to C.J. Stroud for the next 15 years. Ravens take Mike Sanders still. So while we're there, let's talk about my round 3 picks. So with linemen taken care of, some other guys I had my eye on here. If they fell, early in the process, I was looking at guys like McConkey, but he's going early. Lassiter, he's going early. If we didn't get center in the second round, right in here is where I would slot in a guy like Cedric Van Pran, center out of Georgia. He's played some 50 career college games at center already, so he's got that experience. Or Mike Sanders still. And obviously you can see Mike Sanders still here, goes at 62 to the division rivals because of course he does. That hurts. Some other guys I was looking at in round 3, wide receiver. That's our next top need here that we have to address. And Malachi Corley, gone. Ricky Pearsall, gone. Jalen Polk, gone. So round 3 is not really breaking all that great for our Steelers right now. Javon Baker, gone. So let's just take a look at who's even left on the wide receiver board at this moment in time. You got Brendan Rice, Devontae Walker, Jermaine Burton is a guy. Rosemary Jack Saint is one I have circled on my list, but it feels a little early for him. So it really, nothing is speaking to me really great right now. So we're not going to go wide receiver. So now I flip my eyes to cornerback. And a name that I think has been kind of underrated here, but kind of fits that role of a physical guy like Mike Sanders still, but could play some outside corner. And that's going to end up being the pick here is MJ Devonshire out of Pitt. Stays in Pitt, in the Pitt area. He doesn't have to change apartments or anything. But MJ Devonshire is going to be the round 3 pick here. ESPN has him ranked at number 79. Pittsburgh's taking him here at pick 84. And now we got a piece there on the outside to help out that defense, get a little bit more depth out there behind Joey Porter Jr. And we add to that room. a little bit. We're back on the board here just a few picks later at number 98. So remember, 2 third-round picks for the Steelers. And still looking at my board, it's still very much the same list. This could be a spot where if there's no good, this is a trade down idea here. Really not liking a lot of the picks. Trevin Wallace, inside linebacker out of Kentucky, was a guy. Thinking about Cameron Kitchens, actually cousin to Joey Porter Jr., was a guy we were thinking about. Zach Zinter in this range too made a lot of sense, taking a chance on a guy. So let's go back to the board here and see who's at the top. They're definitely not going running back anytime soon. There's still a couple of those wide receivers on the board: Brendan Rice, Jermaine Burton. There's some inside linebackers here. You know what? I'm gonna go outside of the box a little bit. And I'm still going to add to that defense. We added the offensive side on the first 2 picks. So let's go defense here and take Jeremiah Trotter Jr., an inside linebacker, fast guy that I think Mike Tomlin really likes. I mean, he's been to the Clemson Pro Day back-to-back years, and I think he talked to Trotter both times. He talked to him last year as an underclassman. He talked to him again this year. So Jeremiah Trotter is the draft pick here later in the 3rd round. And I think a guy that's going to come in, provide some depth. Inside linebacker, been a little bit of a revolving door for the Steelers the past couple years. But now you got a guy like Patrick Queen who's going to come in there and be your star for hopefully the next couple of years, signing that big free agent contract. And we continue on, going into the 4th round there. But I think a good pick there that would provide some depth on the back end for the Steelers. But now back on the board here in the 4th, I think you got to go wide receiver here. I think you have to at this point. If the Steelers have not yet traded for Brandon Ayuk, by the time you're on the board here in round 4, and you haven't taken a wide receiver yet, you either trade for Brandon Ayuk or you're drafting one. So I don't know a whole lot about the top couple of these guys, Rice, Thrasher, Means. I know. I've seen their names floated around, but another name I've seen floated around a lot, just dot connecting, and I'm a Georgia guy, but this is not connected, is Marcus Rosemary Jackson. It's actually Rosemary, I think. But regardless, a wide receiver who's a good run blocker, first and foremost. Think about this Arthur Smith offense. He's not coming in to be a 1,000-yard receiver. He'd come in, he'd work opposite of George Pickens. It's a 1 wide receiver offense that Arthur Smith likes to run, so George Pickens is going to get a lot of that attention. But a guy on the other side who's got size, who's got the ability to be a good receiver, but he's going to be out there really helping your run game a lot too. I know that's not what you want to hear when you're drafting a wide receiver, but we're in the 4th round right now, and I think we're getting a guy that could help multifaceted here for the Steelers offense. So Rosemary Jack Saint, whatever his name is, he is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. He is joining some of his former teammates in Mims and George Pickens, and we are just adding to the Georgia Bulldogs room here in Pittsburgh. That was another guy that I had on my notes list here on the side for targets here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I think once this finally gets going again, website a little slow. Maybe we get these updates available off the screen. And as that's spinning, talking late round ideas. At this point, we've done a lot to shore up a lot of the holes I think that this roster had. Interior offensive line, answered. Tackle, answered. Corner, an answer. Is he going to start right away? Probably not. He's probably going to be behind Dante Jackson and Joey Porter Jr., but a youthful guy in there. We got some depth in the linebacker room. We got a wide receiver piece. So now I'm really thinking about a couple of different positions. I'm thinking defensive line, and I'm thinking if a guy is on the board, maybe we take him, because now we're all the way down in the 6th round. We did not have a 5th round pick, but I'm just going to take a peek. At quarterback. So there are a couple more guys still on the board. Devin Leary, Kentucky, but Jordan Travis out of Florida State. He's got the rank of 291 right now, so maybe we'll play the game of knowing where we're at. Yeah, screw it. We're going to do it. We're going to draft Jordan Travis just because I think he is a guy that has a good ceiling. Had a really good year at Florida State for a while before he got hurt. That team was destined to make the playoffs if he does not get hurt. They're definitely the number 4 team if he doesn't get hurt, and maybe they make noise. Maybe they take down Michigan in that first game. And if so, Jordan Travis would be a top quarterback prospect right now. I firmly believe that. But given some of the issues that have been around him and that injury, of course, he has fallen way far down on the draft board. But given the Steelers locker room, you got Russell Wilson, 15, 16, however long he's been in the league, a guy. Justin Fields, hopefully, in my mind, and maybe I'll make a video on this in the summer, hopefully he takes that QB1 reign sooner rather than later. Because again, right now you still have a question mark to who is your 2025 quarterback. You don't know. 2024 is going to probably be Russell Wilson, but maybe it's Justin Fields too. Justin Fields is going to play regardless. So they're going to have packages for him throughout the season. So regardless of that, you still need maybe even a developmental guy to just keep for down the road. And I think Jordan Travis would be a great fit as quarterback 3. You bring him in, he's going to compete with Kyle Allen during the summer. I think he comfortably wins that, and it's a spot you want him to win, a competition you want him to win early in his NFL career. And you keep bringing him along. You just let that kid sit in the system for a couple of years, and we'll see what happens if and when his name is called upon for the Steelers. So we're going to draft Jordan Travis there in the 6th round, early in the 6th round. And if memory serves me, I think there's another 6th round pick coming for the Steelers. Kirkland Brand Tea, please sponsor the channel. That would be amazing. Moving on though, yes, another 6th round pick. So with that taken care of, an area that I think needs some sort of attention is defensive line. So we're just going to go ahead and sort D-end here. We got a couple of D-ends. Guys, again, I'm not really familiar with right now. I'll be completely honest with you. Then let's look up D-tackle, and really, I think I'm gonna go with Jordan Jefferson here. A guy I'm gonna be honest, don't really know a lot about, but I know that the Steelers love their Power 5 conference. They love LSU. I know they were looking at the other LSU defensive tackle in this draft, and I think they were at that pro day. But Jordan Jefferson, an alternative option here. I mean, again, it's the 6th round. We're around pick 200. So we're going to throw some darts at the board, and we're going to see if any of these guys stick. But nonetheless, that is the pick here for the 6th round. I believe we got one 7th round pick coming up. Again, at this point, my board is gone. Like, we've taken all the guys I wanted. I mean, the top 4 rounds to this draft have been perfect for the Steelers. Granted, I think you would have liked one more guy to slip to that 3rd round, whether it's a Sanders still or one of those wide receivers. But nonetheless, I think you're very happy with how this draft has shaken out thus far. And now here in the 7th, it's a crapshoot. We'll see who's on the board and who's available. But I'm really not too worried about it at this point. Some areas I'm thinking of may be like safety, backup safety, or younger safety with some speed. A nickelback. Excuse me. If Devonshire doesn't play that. Oh, I guess the Steelers don't even have a 7th round pick. There it is. That was the end of our draft. So you just saw the draft simulator run out there, but there you have it. Amarius Mims in pick 1st round. Chances available at 82%. Chance available at the next pick, less than 5. So people really think he's going at number 20. Zach Frazier there at pick 51. I guess next pick is like your 2nd round pick. So Zach Frazier there in the 2nd round. MJ Devonshire there in the 3rd. Looks like we reached on him. He would have been there for quite a bit. I'm okay with that. That's a guy I like. I think the rest of the NFL is a little down on him. They're just not as high. Totally fine. Jeremiah Trotter, the other 3rd round pick there. Marcus Rosemary Jack Saint there in the 4th. Some wide receiver depth. Jordan Travis in the 6th. and Jordan Jefferson, and later in the 6th there as well. So there you have it. There's your Steelers mock draft. I think I did a really good job. I think I'd be a great GM for the Steelers, and I think that did a great job of fixing a lot of the holes. So leave a comment down below if you agree, if you disagree, how you feel about my situation there, what I did well. Drop a like on the video, subscribe for more Party Chat Sports content, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy draft season. Let's go.